Hey, welcome back. 540 ESPN, Pro Wrestling Report, and ESPNMilwaukee.com. We have with us now a member of the Main Event Mafia, a multiple-time tag team champion, and multiple-time WCW heavyweight champion of the world, Booker T. King Booker, welcome to the program.
Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on? How's it going?
Oh, it's good. We got some actual warmth up here. It's, not freezing up here in Milwaukee. We know that you're living down in Texas, so you don't know what the cold weather's like on a daily basis.
Man.
But
no, we don't know what that's about, man. We always hovering around, 60 to 80 on a regular basis,
Yeah. Well, Book, welcome to the program. We just want to do a quick recap of what Booker T has done in the professional wrestling business. Also, by the way, with me, Dave Hero from the Pro Wrestling Report and Great Lakes Championship Wrestling. Dave?
Hey, Booker, how are you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing great, man. Actually, doing real good.
Fabulous.
One of the things we wanted to talk about is, you got Team 3D kind of talking on TNA about how they may be the greatest tag team of all time, but, maybe some of our fans have forgotten that Booker T is one of the best tag team wrestlers of all time, along with his brother Stevie Ray.
Actually, Booker T, I've had tag team Gold, had tag team reigns with 4 different partners. RVD, Gold Dust, my big brother Stevie Ray, and the late Tess, as we know, passed away just a few days ago. And, I've had a stellar tag team career. Seemed like everybody that they've put me with, everybody I've tagged with, we've gone on to win the big one, So my tag team prowess has always been there. Something that's near and dear to my heart, like you say, the Harlem Heat. I always put myself and my brother in, that top 5 as far as greatest tag teams of all times. I'm winning 10, WCW World Tag Team Championships the hard way, going against guys back then, who were real tag team, viable tag teams, guys who were, pretty much 6'4", 6'5", 250-pound guys, guys like the Nasty Boys, guys like the Road Warriors, guys like Sting, Lex Luger, and the list goes on and on, So Harlem Heat, is literally, hovering, as far as greatest tag teams of all times, of course.
What's it like working with guys like on your side as far as like Scott Steiner, Kevin Nash, Kurt Angle, 3 guys that you've had a lot of history with as far as in-ring action, and yet, you've had a few matches with Sting, but pretty much all of your partners in the Mafia are guys you've had feuds with.
That's just a good part about it. We all know each other. We've been in the trenches with each other. We've warred with each other on regular basis back in the day. So I always say, keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. And that's kind of like what it is right there. Main Event Mafia, we're a bunch of veterans. We're a bunch of guys who know what it's like to be in the position where the front line guys are right now. We know what those guys want to get, and they're going to work real hard. But we're just not willing to give it up right now. We're happy being the top guys, being the main event, being the draw, being the top on the card here in TNA. It's a good feeling, to be a general. When you become general, you don't get your stripes taken away from you, man. That's just something that just don't happen. Until we retire, we are, the Main Event Mafia.
Last week we had Kevin Nash on the show with us, and he mentioned about Mick Foley, not too sure what his role is right now in TNA wrestling. He also mentioned that Mick Foley, there could be a spot for him in the Main Event Mafia, as he is as well, a former world champion. What are your thoughts on that?
Mick Foley, I'm sure he's going to come around sooner or later. He's going to see that you can't, beat it into these guys' heads, the AJ Styles, the Samoa Joes, You can't beat it into these guys' heads. They're going to have to learn it the hard way, So Mick Foley, I'm sure he's going to come around sooner or later, as soon as we get this punk Jeff Jarrett straightened out, you know what I mean? And, just lay the hammer down on this guy, I'm not saying we're going to put a hit out on him or anything, but Jeff Jarrett, if you don't see him on TNA, hey, don't say Booker T said something's going to happen or I told you so.
Oh, we're not saying that at all, Book. But, you mentioned Test, and obviously Dave also was a little close to Test. Kevin spoke about it last week on the program, how close he was to Test. Give us a couple words. Obviously you can't summarize, your feelings about Andrew Martin, but, just let everybody know what you thought of Test.
Test was a great guy, man. Test was one of a kind. he was one of those guys who could have had a stellar career, but when you let drugs interfere and come into play, such as he did, drugs have tainted a lot of great wrestlers in this business, tainted a lot of great superstars, and took them down that wrong road, and a lot of them didn't recover from it. And he's one of them, But Test was my tag team partner. We went on the win tag team gold and WCW tag team champions and WWE tag team champions. So we were great friends. Actually, we were really good friends. But the last time I talked to him, he was in a state that I didn't feel like he should have been in. And his death to me is really. It saddens me, but I'm really not surprised or anything like that. It's not like, because he seemed like something was bothering him. Seemed like, he had something, eating at him. What was it? I really don't know, but I really do feel like this business can drive you. It can really take you. It can consume you, and it can chew you up, and it can spit you out. And you really got to have your bearings when you're in a business such as this professional wrestling game. If anybody ever gone out and seen that movie, The Wrestler, I've heard a lot of negative things about it. I've heard a lot of good things about it. But I tell you what, that guy, is really, what wrestling is really all about. That movie, and spent a lot of my comrades, a lot of my soldiers has been in that same predicament. So God bless him. Hopefully I see him on the other side. And that's pretty much as I can say about it.
Gotcha, Booker. Now that you're in TNA, it seems like you've been having a lot more fun, a little bit more relaxed. You got to be Black Snow as one of the ring of one of the commentators, and the fans love that. Was it an easy decision for you to leave the WWE and move to TNA, where you now seem to be having more fun and a little bit of a lighter schedule?
Well, when I left WWE, I wasn't expecting to come to TNA or anything like that. It was a very easy decision for me to leave WWE. I felt like it was my time to leave WWE. I feel like life goes in stages. I don't feel like you can be in one stage for your whole life. You can really get caught up, and a lot of guys have seen life pass them by like that. I don't want to be one of those people. I don't live for wrestling. I live to entertain the fans. Mm-hmm. That's what I do, and whether I entertain them in professional wrestling or on the big screen, doing what I do, I'm going to still entertain.
Are you talking about those vignettes you did goofing on Rock? Is that what you're talking about? Because those were hilarious.
Well, my thing is I just love to entertain.
Yeah.
The Black Snow thing, that's a character.
Yeah, and I want to talk about Black Snow when you get a second.
Well, actually, Black Snow is actually a poet, actually in Houston, Texas, and I've gone and seen him, do his work, and he's a great, great poet, been around the city for so long, and, I was like, man, I want to be Black Snow, man, I want to be Black Snow, so I put Black Snow out, in live and living color, on screen, from a different perspective, and it's just paying homage to, what he